There was a cute fir tree in the forest outside the town. It was a very pleasant place, sunny and refreshing. Sometimes, when children came to pick strawberries, they would come up to the tree and praise it, saying, "What a cute little fir tree." However, the fir tree was not happy at all, because it only wanted to grow bigger. The little fir tree grew little by little over the course of a year or two. Every autumn, a woodcutter came and cut down several large trees. The big trees fell with a loud noise, and the branches were stripped off, and they were carried out of the forest completely naked, which was a horrifying sight. In the spring, a stork told us about the fir tree that had become a fine pillar. "Oh, I wish I was big enough to cross the sea." "Enjoy your youth," said the sun. But the fir tree did not understand what the sun meant. As Christmas approached, the young and beautiful fir trees were cut down. The sparrows came to the young fir tree and told it to us. The fir tree that was cut down the other day was beautifully decorated and shining in the middle of the room. How wonderful! I wish I could grow up beautiful and fine. And then there must be even more wonderful things, because it is decorated so beautifully. We are here, so you can enjoy your youthfulness here, said the sun and the air. But the fir tree still couldn't help but be envious. Summer passed and Christmas approached again. And the fir tree that had grown into a beautiful tree was the first to be cut down. However, the pain of the axe was terrible, and it meant leaving its hometown and friends, so it was not as happy as it had been. The next tree to be cut down was a big mansion. It was placed in the middle of a big room and beautifully decorated. A star was put on top. At night, the candles on the fir tree were lit, and it shone brightly and was very gorgeous. Then the children gathered around the fir tree, and picked candies and gifts from its branches. They then gathered under the tree and listened to the story of the little plump who fell down the stairs and got the king's princess. The fir tree looked forward to the next day, thinking that it would be possible to hear other stories. The next day, the family came and put the fir tree away in the attic, where the sun never shines. The fir tree thought that since it was winter, now the tree had put it away until spring came and it could be planted. But it was still lonely in the dark room. Then the mice came. The fir tree told the mice a story about the little forest where it was born. How happy you were. Only after hearing this did the fir tree realize that that was the happiest time of its life. The next day, more mice came, and the fir tree told them stories about the forest and about the little plump. One morning, people came to the attic. Then the fir tree was pulled out and thrown into the courtyard. The sunshine, the fresh air, the flowers, the birds singing. It was captivating. The fir tree tried to stretch its branches, thinking that it would live under the sun again. But it noticed that its branches had completely turned yellow and withered. Children playing in the courtyard found the fir tree, and the smallest boy stole the star from it. We should have enjoyed it while we could. This is what the sun meant. The servant cut off the fir tree's branches to make firewood, which burned red under the sake kettle. Every time the fir tree sighed and a crackling spark went up. It remembered the little forest, Christmas Eve, and the story of Mr. Pudgy. And finally, everything burned down.